Hello, this is Will Faerber from Art to Ride, and today we're looking at a submission by Joan of the horse Orion. Once again, same things kind of apply here a little bit in terms of rider. I just want to see you stretch up and not let your shoulders drop down so much, and begin to work with your hands up a little bit higher, though you're getting a pretty good walk out of this horse here. Still needs to get a little bit longer in the neck and stretch down deeper and be a little more active. There you go, but you're certainly having moments when you're getting him there. Try not to lose the contact so much. One of the things I'm seeing is you just need to work with your hands a little wider at times to let yourself maintain contact so that you can soften as he goes up and down. You know, with these horses that are, still in this stage of kind of up 1 minute, down 1 minute, we just kind of need to follow their mouth by just widening the reins and, working with your hands a little wider so that the horse can't escape the contact so that we can lighten as the horse goes down. So once again, not a bad walk here. It's just not quite stretched enough through the back. It's pretty active. You're having moments where it's pretty good, like there. He gets in a pretty good place, but still, once again, he needs to get longer and deeper into that a little bit. There you go, like that. Now that's starting to look like a better walk, like this. There you go, like that. That's much better. And so you just have to keep working on that every time. This is the example where I'm talking about taking your hands wider because he's escaping you. Like here the reins are too loose so he can get too far away from you. If you just widen your hands in these beginning stages so that you can maintain a consistent, supple contact to the mouth of the horse, that's the most important thing a rider ever learns to do, other than bring the horse forward from their leg, of course. But we must bring the horse forward from our legs into a soft, supple contact that gives to the weight of the rein when the horse is correct, but yet doesn't just throw the rein away. This is the hardest thing for people to learn to achieve. But you're having some wonderful moments of that here, of him getting stretched into the contact. And you can see every time he brings his head up how his back kind of collapses in the middle and he slows down. We lose the swinging walk. So again, just here, you're spending too much time looking down. I just like you to lift everything up, get your shoulder blades back into your back a little bit. I mean, your legs are in a pretty good position, though I would like to see you wearing riding boots so you have more support, more correct support for your leg. And as I said, on some of these undeveloped horses, you could certainly ride with a little bit shorter stirrup if you wanted to, if you feel like you can't get off their back. But this is pretty good, and you'll be able to keep your heel down. Not a bad trot. You can see how sort of short the trot is, though. As he gets his neck longer, it certainly looks better. Always watching the back end. Not bad. He's not quite there. It's not terrible, but he's just not quite all the way there. We need to get that neck out about a foot longer. Once again, remember, we want to get the horse to reach out from the base of its shoulder. Very often people get horses to kind of bend their necks over, but we really need them to lengthen from the base of the shoulder, that neck forward and down, and gain that extra foot. That's what really pulls the horse's back up. It helps it to develop the correct position of the withers. Remember, over time, the withers are going to pull up through the shoulders. Though this is a pretty good trot here. You're having some pretty nice moments here. He still just needs to get a little bit longer. Once again, you see how every time he comes to a corner, he kind of hollows, because even that short a turn for a horse that is this hollow is difficult. There, now that's starting to look better there as he stretches down. And once again, this would be an opportunity for you to practice that thing of just letting your hands go wider. And once again, this is not equitation riding. It's not what we do in the show ring. It's what we do to teach horses to follow the contact. Once they do that more easily and want to stay down, we've really gotten them over the backs. It isn't any problem at all. Now what you just experienced there is just bad footing. That's why we have to be very careful that the footing we're on isn't getting cuppy like that. They stick and come around the corner, and all of a sudden the back leg just hangs in the dirt. That tells you there's not enough footing perhaps, and not enough cushion in that footing. So once again, not a bad trot there, needed to get stretched lower and deeper. So I like seeing you come back to the walk as you're doing here. So just don't spend a lot of time in the trot. If you can't get it all the way there, certainly keep trying. But you're going to find that your lunging work, when they get really consistent at that stretch and the lunge, then you're going to find that the riding is so much more easy. He needs to be more active here. He's kind of collapsed while the head is going down. There isn't enough swing in the back. So we just need to make this walk much more active. We've got to start with some movement. Then we can begin to adjust the horse. Remember, it's all about dynamic movement. We're not creating statues that stand still. Too many people are doing that with their horses. They're creating horses and riders that can pose, but once they start moving, everything goes to hell, so to speak. and that's not what we want to have happen. A little more active here. Once again, you can see that action, when he hollowed there, how the hind legs just fell out behind. I would have liked to have seen you got him much more swinging and stretching in the walk before you even bothered to try to do the trot. Though, once again, this isn't terrible, and I love the fact that, you're not pulling his neck back at you. He's just not quite getting all the way there and needs to get stretching a little bit deeper through the neck. That is, stretching down and forward from the base of the neck and really finding that full length of the horse's neck. So this is not bad, and you're heading in the right direction. There. You can see each time he gets a little bit lower, and we see how the top line begins to light up across the top of his neck there. Now, this is starting to look like it could be a working trot here. Very nice. Working trot, remember, means the horse working over the back. That's what they meant in the term working trot, as opposed to just an ordinary trot when the horse is just kind of hollow and going around. That's how we know the difference. Now, that's really good there. This is starting to look really good now. So much better, and look how much more around action that you got out of the hock there. And that was a good moment to reward there, rather. Once again, watch those fingers. I pointed out in another video of you tending to stick your fingers out straight sometimes, and be very aware of that because you can really hurt your hands doing that if the horse suddenly jams up quickly, stops quickly, which with the young ones, we never know what's going to happen, so we must always be prepared. But that trot got to a very nice place there. And once again, coming back to the walk, he gets a little resistive. Once again, getting active first. So once again, before you worry about whether you have any stretch, just get some activity. There, that's starting to come better. And I'd just like to see you, like before that last upward transition, I would have liked to have seen you spend much more time getting longer and deeper. Though once we got into it, the trot was not bad. And you did the right thing that you didn't try to hold the horse in a frame, so to speak, when you made the upward transition. So just remember, folks, until you can get a horse consistent in the gaits, there's no point in trying to worry about the transitions between the gaits, because when they first are starting to learn all this, you're probably not going to be able to do a perfect transition from the trot to the walk to the trot. So don't worry about it. Once you can get the horse really consistent in the trot work and the walk work, then you'll find that you'll have no trouble making that transition between the two. But I see too many riders and instructors get hung up on the minutia of things like that and end up driving the horse crazy and hollow by trying to make a perfect upward transition on a hollow-backed horse to start with, and then expecting them to keep this perfect head position when they have no strength to be able to do it. There you go. And once again, you can so clearly see how much better he moves as he stretches that neck forward and down like that. You're having some really good moments. Same thing here, though. I still want to see you stretch up in the saddle, and as I mentioned in a previous video, I want to see you wearing something that isn't hanging down. You should not be sitting on your clothing. That would interfere ultimately with your ability to ride and could actually be dangerous in a dangerous situation. That is a horse getting, out of control with you or something, and you're sitting on your coat. So not a good thing. This walk is getting better here. Yeah, like that. Really good. Then you just needed to add a little more activity to that. You're wanting to stretch down, so always get that activity again. Look, that's much, much better. There. So you're really on the right track with this horse and the last one that you sent me a videotape of as well. Just not quite getting them all the way there yet in the trot, but you will, because you've had moments where you're getting it all the way there in the walk. So it won't be long before the trot will work as well. Just be sure you continue to lunge the horses as part of their workout each day, and not even ride them each day with these horses like this, that you're just sort of rehabbing their back, so to speak. If you read the old Spanish riding school book, they would lunge horses for a year before they ever got on their backs. Smart thinking. Then the horse is strong enough to carry the weight. So really good job. This is Will Faerber from Art to Ride with Joan and her horse Orion. Another good job. Just get him stretching a little bit longer and you'll have it. Great job.